And 55 degrees here at studios in Canyon Country. The time is 8:11, and in the studio with me, I'm honored to have Brian Charles, Signal staff writer, and Stephen Peoples, online editor with the Signal and the -signal.com. Now, earlier with the inauguration this week, Brian was on site in Washington, D.C. Hi, Brian.
How you doing, John?
Oh, fine. And Stephen's in the background here. He's videotaping this situation. Now, tell us why he's videotaping our interview.
Well, he's going to videotape because we'll post this on the-signal.com sometime today, probably when we get back to the office. And it's an opportunity. What we were trying to do with the website is give people an opportunity to have an interactive format for experiencing the inauguration. I went and I sent back photos, and I had some other photographers who sent back some photos, so that people could, if they weren't there, they could be there through the-signal.com.
Very cool. You saw and you conquered. You went, you saw, and you conquered, right?
Oh, I don't know about conquered. I think the inauguration conquered me. I'm beat, and I tell you, it was just, you know, the logistics of navigating around 1.8 million, I think was the estimate, 1.8 million people.
Right.
It's daunting, you know, and it was a very tough experience, but it was a very inspiring experience in the sense that you saw a lot of things there among the crowd. I mean, from where I was standing, I think Obama was smaller than my pinky nail, you know? But it was inspiring to see the people that were in the crowd and the stories that they shared. I thought that was the best moment.
Now, you gave us reports from there, as many of our listeners know and have heard, and it sounded like things were just, I mean, it must have been magical.
Yeah, it was. And in spite of some of the things that were tough, it was magical. I remember meeting a woman from, I said this in the paper, a woman from Oklahoma who told me about her segregated laundromat, and the only thing in the laundromat that was integrated was a change machine. She could change money. She goes, because they had to integrate the money. The money's all green, and then you would meet these campaign organizers from all different cities. One woman said she knocked on all these doors in Louisville. I think she said over 200, and trying to get Kentucky to go blue, you know, and there was a older gentleman who I saw in the crowd. He was walking by. He said, you know, I was a civil rights worker for 60 years, and I never thought I was going to see this, and I saw this. And there were just so many young people there. When I spoke to Congressman McKeon, he said part of what the inaugural committee wanted to do, what they were trying to tell the congressmen as they were handing out tickets, was to look at two groups specifically. Young people that this moment can change their lives, and older people to see how much their lives have changed. And they tried to gear some of the ticket requests to that, and it was an interesting thing, because you did see both of those demographics well represented. There was a young lady next to me in the crowd, and you could tell she was very young, because as the former presidents were proceeding through, Jimmy Carter came through. She goes, "Who's that?" I said, "It's Jimmy Carter." And it wasn't, and she was interested to know, and okay, what did he do? It was good to see that young people were engaged in the moment.
Now, as you look back, you've been back a few days now.
Yeah.
What is the highlight of your experience there?
I think the highlight for me, more so, I thought the speech was amazing. I think really the highlight for me was the moment after the oath of office. For that, it was about 30 seconds in there where strangers, I mean, people that didn't know each other, that stood in a crowd of 240,000 people that could stream through security, just hugged each other. And I think that moment right there was just amazing. I mean, you know, people were just, one woman, it was her birthday. January 20th was her birthday. I thought, she's jiving me, it's not her birthday. And then her son next to her said, no, this is my mom's birthday. And she just hugged everybody. She grabbed me. I mean, it was an amazing, I think that moment right there was kind of the culmination of everything. And that's not to downplay the importance of the inaugural address in the speech, but I think that moment was just, it's just everything peaked right there.
All right, very good. In case you've just joined us, we're chatting with Brian Charles, Signal staff writer, and Stephen K. Peoples. He's an online editor. He is filming this interview, and you'll be able to see it probably on the-signal.com later today, correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll post this up, and you can always, we have an inauguration section, and that way you can go back and look at all 15 of the reports that I've done over the last 2 weeks, because we started this process on January 9th, and part of it was commentary, part of it was first person for me telling stories about my experience with some of the bigger issues here, some of the issues that you can't get away from, things like race and identity, things like expectations for our candidate, for the now president, and my mother's experience growing up in the South and what this means for folks like that. That was kind of an important part for me to focus on. And I think that got hammered home when I got to the inauguration, and you saw people from all over the country with similar stories that told those similar stories. And I think if you go to the-signal.com, you pick up today's Signal, and you get to see what this, kind of hammer home what this means just to large segments of America.
All right, very good. Brian Charles, Signal staff writer, and Stephen Peoples with us, online editor. He is videotaping this interview, as we mentioned, and you should be able to see it this afternoon on the-signal.com. We really appreciate the feed you gave us earlier this week from Washington, and thank you for coming in today, and we look forward to working with you in the future.
Oh, same here. It was a fun experience. It was kind of I was a lot more. I thought I was going to be more nervous than I was when I got on air, but you guys made it very comfortable.
All right, very good. Well, Brian, what an incredible moment for you personally, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, it was an amazing moment, and I think one of the things that was really special for me was sharing some of those moments. I had family out there. I stayed with my aunt. I had a cousin that came down, and my mother, I didn't get to see her, but she was down there with a church group of about 46 people.
Fantastic. All right, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.